little kids. I was putting some pictures together, going through some pictures, and kind of preparing for this talk. And I have them on my phone. If you want, I can show you later. But one of the first picture was of me and my brother from a long time ago. So he was, see, I was probably like 6, he was probably like 3 or 4, I forget. So I'm looking at the picture, and we never really got along. We still don't get along. I mean, maybe better back then because we were little, we didn't know any better. But the thing that's interesting about little kids to me right now is because I have my own. So I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I have twins, a boy and a girl, 5 years old. 5 years old. And it's a lot more interesting thinking about my childhood when I was a kid. Now that I have my own kids, I'm always analyzing. Maybe other parents in the room can relate. It's kind of like, oh my God, I was like this for my mom, or you know, it became apparent to me that what I'm doing to them. You know what I mean? And the probably the thing that I want to take away from the whole kids portion was that how self-absorbed they are. And you know, it's all me, and we just got tablets for the kids, and it's just all they care about. Like, I'm worrying about bills and the house and this and that. All they care about is playing Angry Birds. I want goldfish. You know, it's just all about them. And I guess rightfully so. I mean, they're little kids. But what happens if that never goes away? What happens when you start growing up and you're still me? And so moving on to picture 2 is, I know I don't have it to show you, but there's a picture of me playing in a pep band for a high school game. And I played the guitar with the pep band, so it was like horns and you know, clarinet and trumpet, and then electric guitar. So naturally, I played Star Spangled Banner the Jimi Hendrix way, you know, in a high school basketball game. So, but what that picture, was reminded by that picture was not how cool that was. It was like how horrible my high school experience was. And even before that, it's like as soon as I became old enough to start thinking about myself, that was the problem. I was thinking about myself. And I hate using the word like selfish and self-absorbed, as you know, for anybody, because I never meant to be, you know, I would do anything for other people, but the reality was I was so worried about me. I was worried about what other people thought of me, and I needed other people to think highly of me for me to feel good about myself. That's what I mean by self-absorbed. And so it caused lots of problems. You know, looking back, I missed out on stuff. I was fearful. I did lots of things, but I never got close to people. So it's almost like as a security blanket, I put up walls around myself. I built walls so I didn't allow myself to get close to other people because they might hurt me or they might not like me. So it's easier just to kind of keep them at a distance. So moving on past high school, you know, later years of high school and then my 20s were, you know, what happens when you have somebody who puts up walls and still needs attention? They tend to act out. So I'm not a psychiatrist, but this is what I think. So looking back, I acted out with different addictions, with, you know, trying to, you know, conquest things and build things and just anything so that I could feel something instead of, because I was putting up walls. I wasn't having real relationships with people. So I would have relationships with things or with objects, or just I would try to act out however I could. And one day, it changed. Well, I shouldn't say that because that was a long time ago. I've made a lot of progress. I feel like I'm telling my life story up here, but I made a lot of progress. I did a lot of things good, and I'm not bashing what happened. But just recently, I've been kind of doing the fake it till you make it thing. I've been getting through life, drudging, getting little progress and doing things that scare me like this, but to just do it and then get through the other side. But something that happened recently changed all that. I'll tell you about that in a second. I need more water up here. So I was listening to Howard Stern on the radio. You guys ever heard of Howard Stern? So love him or hate him, he's a really good interviewer. And sometimes he gets a little obnoxious. I have to change the channel, but he has some really great interviews. It's good stuff. And people will open up to him more than they will in other places like 60 Minutes or on TV. But so he was interviewing Judd Apatow, the producer director. Actually, I don't even know if he was interviewing him or just Judd was talking about his book on the show. However it happened, the subject was Jerry Seinfeld. And I guess Jerry Seinfeld, the story goes, had a picture of the universe in his writing room when they were doing the Seinfeld show. Picture, there's a table, but then on the wall is this picture of space. And you've probably heard of the Hubble Space Telescope. So they sent this telescope out, for decades, I believe. It's been going out, just to the edges of the universe. And it would look back and take a picture of us and the universe that you can't see from Earth. And so Jerry would, when he would get stressed out about trying to write for the show, he would look up at that picture and he would just be calmed. And the reason why is because when you look at that picture, you realize how unimportant all of this is. We're literally we're like a speck on a grain of sand. It's crazy. And some people might look at that picture and get depressed, but the way Jerry took it and the way I've taken it is that it's empowering. I'll get to that in a second. But when you think about that picture, if you just look at it briefly, it just looks like a sky. It looks like a bunch of stars. But when you stare at it and you contemplate it, you realize that there's all little clusters in there. It's not just a bunch of stars, it's a bunch of galaxies. All these speckled. And to give you an idea, I looked this up. So there's in our galaxy, we know what the planets that we have in our galaxy, but then from our galaxy to the next galaxy is 25,000 light years. So what that is if you were going light speed, it would take you 25,000 years to get from our galaxy to the next galaxy. That's pretty far, right? Our planet will probably be gone before that even happens. And there's over 100 billion galaxies that we know of in the universe, and the universe is expanding. So it's baffling. It's crazy to think of we're alive on the planet Earth 25,000 light years from the next galaxy, and there's probably no life there. What if we're the only life in the entire universe? And what that means to me is, how lucky am I to be one of the people alive on Earth having this experience? I mean, what are the chances that I'm alive now? Out of all the beings, if there's any life on any other planets, what are the chances that they're conscious like we are, that they're aware? So when I look at that picture, that picture has changed my life, because all I do when I get stressed out thinking about the email inbox and the to-dos and the things I got to do, none of that matters when I look at that picture. And it's not that, it's given me power. Instead of making me feel small, it turns out that when I was growing up and I had the all about me complex, I needed to feel that I didn't matter to give me the power to feel free. In other words, the problem was it was too much about me. Even though I wasn't trying to do anything bad with it, I was just trying to survive, I needed to feel insignificant so that I could feel free and alive, and so that I could enjoy life. And so now it's all about, what can I create? What experience do I want to have in this moment? And it's crazy that people are killing each other and the things that are going on today. And so the message that I want to carry on, that I want you all to take home, is the bond that we all have is that we're from the planet Earth. It doesn't matter what religion we have or the color of our skin. We need to stick together because we're possibly the only life in the universe. Thank you.